Hey there crew, it's Mark, and we've talked about plotters here on this channel before, but today I want to introduce you to something that is very similar to plotter, but a little bit less expensive. If you're the type of person who's looking for this type of ring binder, then you might be in the market for MeePlus. MeePlus is a fantastic brand new to me. MeePlus was established in 2023 by its founders Laura and her husband Toby, and they're dedicated to offering handmade, high-quality leather journals and planner covers, as well as accessories at affordable prices. Laura is the planner enthusiast. Her husband Toby is actually bringing over 10 years of experience in leather crafting industry, and they have all these beautiful accessories and papers and everything to go along with this journal. So let's go ahead and talk more about the details. So I have these two side by side. I have the narrow from Plotter over on the left, and then I have the slim pad here, personal size, from MeePlus here on the right hand side. Both of these are very similar from the standpoint that they use premium Italian leather that's going to age absolutely beautifully. Both of these also use Krause rings. Those are the beautiful rings that are on the inside, nice and slim. But what's great is that MeePlus actually offers various ring sizes for their Pocket and their A6 formats. If you want more than 11 millimeter, they also have a 16 millimeter as well, which is super cool. MeePlus also has several 3-in-1 card holders and pen holders, which are also designed to accommodate thicker pens as well, really maximizing the size. More pages, more space, you gotta love that. When I was talking to MeePlus, they mentioned that one of the things that their users had mentioned about the plotter is that it has sharper edges up on the top. So what they've done is they've gone ahead and rounded out the corners of their back strips, and that way you don't have to worry about finger cutting or potentially bag scratches or anything like that. Another difference with the ring's hardware is that currently they only offer silver as their default back strip color, while Plotter does have gold, silver, as well as a rose gold option. So while you are a little bit more limited with that customization of that color, the silver still looks great, personally one of my favorite colors as well. The other difference between Plotter and MeePlus also has to do with the inserts, speaking of customization. While MeePlus doesn't have the variety of the inner pages and accessories that Plotter does, it's still not lacking. And let me tell you a little bit, there are still a ton of options. So let's go through them. The first one we're going to take a look at here is the weekly planner. Now, what I do love about this paper, it is 120 GSM. So it is really nice. It's also coated paper. So you can use fountain pens on this and it's going to look great. And we're actually going to try that in a little bit. The weekly planner is super cool. Fits right inside of that 6-ring binder. And you get a little bit of an overview of that week on this one page, and then you can flip it on the other side and you get that second week. So it's a little bit more condensed, but I really do like it, especially because you can only fit so many pieces of paper inside of the 11 millimeter rings. The other weekly that we have looks a little bit different. It's kind of like a 2-sheeter instead of a front and a back. The left hand side is going to have the Monday through Sunday kind of just open space, and then over on the right hand side, and I really like that, has the grid spaces. So you can use this for tasks and notes, similar to what you would use inside of a regular planner. One other thing to consider with the refills is price. So the plotter paper tends to be anywhere between $6.80 and $7.50, whereas the MeePlus paper is anywhere between $3 and $7. If you already have a plotter, then this insert looks very familiar. This is your typical list refill or insert that you have here. You can put check marks, write small notes over in the middle, and then check off your list items over on the right-hand side. This is printed front and back as well, so really loving this. It works out really well, especially if you have just that weekly going on. Another version of the daily that you have here are just these gridded out spaces. Each page has 2 large grid areas. You put the date, and then you just do whatever you want inside of that dot grid space. I like how it's broken up with a much different view. Now, I've seen horizontally ruled paper before, but something I wanted to try was this vertical ruled paper inside of the MeePlus. And the reason that I wanted to try this is because I'm a lefty, and so my hand hits the rings inside of these type of binders. So I thought, what if I tried out an insert where I could turn this on its side and basically write horizontally inside of my planner? And let me just tell you, it looks amazing, and this functions so well. There's enough room to write. I'm not hitting my hand on anything. This one makes me really excited. As much as I love the details of these binders, I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things to do is set them up and think about how I would use them for myself on a day-to-day or a week-to-week basis. Now, as I said before, I really like this weekly planner with this fold-out here on the front and the back. I think it would be super easy to use, and I like that it has the front space and the back space. You can just open it up, you could unclip it, take out it if you needed to work with it, and then clip it right back in. Then for me, I think if I was using this on a day-to-day basis, I would use these daily inserts here with the grid space. As the dot at the top, you have the grid space in the middle, and you kind of do whatever you want there. I definitely wanted to test out this paper. While all paper is not made the same, I thought let's have some fun, because something I'm planning on doing with this planner is actually using it for ink swatches and to track my fountain pens and the inks that I use on a weekly basis. So let's go ahead and swatch some out and see how they do. I grabbed a few different brands here, a little bit of everything to dabble in here, and I just want to make sure that the paper is going to hold up. If I'm going to use this to document ink and document pens, the paper's got to be good. Now for the moment of truth, we got to flip this page over and take a look and see how it did. And it did really, really well. There is very minimal ghosting on here, and it's just a little bit kind of warped a little bit from where the wetness of the ink is, but there's no bleed through. I could totally write on the other side of this without having any issue whatsoever, which makes me really excited. I've personally tried to do something like this inside of my plotter, and it had been something I've been using for a while. The difference there with that paper is that it definitely ghosts a lot more. Not only can you see kind of the outline of it, but you can see the actual color through the paper as well. And so with my excitement about the MeePlus Planner here, I'm going to be utilizing this, as I mentioned, to track some ink, but also the pens that I'm using. I've had some friends that do this on a week-to-week basis or month-to-month, and I'm sometimes thinking like, how does this pen write? And I forget about it. So throughout this year, I'll be documenting this, writing in the date and the name of the pen, the nib that we have, and in the ink color that I had inside of it. I'm very curious to hear what you think about this MeePlus Planner. Is this something that might work for you? Is the price right? Saving about $70, $75 for the different sizes that you have versus the plotter. You've got inserts, you've got fun accessories, you've got the same quality of leather, just a little bit of a different approach to it. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about MeePlus, and if this is something you'd be interested in. I'll be sure to link you over to their website, which is mee-plus.com. There you can check out all the different sizes that they have, as well as their inserts, and learn more overall, not just about the planners themselves, but the people behind the planners. Thank you so much for hanging out today with me, friends, and I'll talk to you next time.